Hey, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, it's December.
December
Yes.
2025.
Unbelievable.
Closing out another one.
Yeah, my 91-year-old mom and I had a conversation saying, well, that year lasted for about 3 minutes. It's like you wake
Yeah.
up in the morning and you just snap your finger and you're going back to bed at night. Just amazing. It seems
Yeah.
to have gone really, really fast, which is just
Life seems to do that. It's
the
not
way
fair
it
when
is.
it does that, especially when you get older. It seems like things should slow down a little bit, but
Yeah, and we are slowing down a little bit here every month with the deep dive. We slow down, I mean, with the update and then with the deep dive. We slow down a little bit to consider something, a topic. And this month, the thing that we have become interested in is thinking about repair. And right now, we're in the desert.
Sabino Canyon, east side of Tucson, on the morning after some major rains, and talk about a repair ingredient for the earth in a region that has had 32 consecutive years of drought. The rain is just like gold falling from the sky. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And we've seen running water in this. I mean, really, a creek that sometimes runs dry is running full to overflowing right now. It's been something for us to watch and to be a part of the moment when the rain actually comes to the desert and how the desert responds. There's been blooming overnight. And so here we are among the saguaro and in front of the Santa Catalina Mountains. And we are here to think with you, to begin this thought about why think about repair. What does the natural world have to teach us about repair, and why is it important? So I will say that from the standpoint of human interaction, one of the things that can go undone is repair. Inevitably, because we are social beings, we have, as you know, we're having a big time in this country right now, disagreements. And we do damage to each other emotionally and socially in the way that we interact. That happens. So it is important after that to go back and have time in repair. Resetting is fine. Going inside and resetting is fine, but it's not enough. The repair is really important. You see what you think. You think about those kind of interactions in your life and whether or not repair seems to be an important thing. What is it that you see out in the natural world that demonstrates repair?
You know, repair is such a fundamental aspect of life. Whether a branch gets ripped off a tree and sap's released with antimicrobial properties to keep insects from infecting the tree, whether it's in the cells of your body, there's genetic repair going on all the time to fix things that have been damaged by the environment or otherwise not quite right. So yeah, in nature, repair is such a and we are nature, let's repeat that again, such a fundamental aspect of life. You know, whether you're a tree that's had a gouge in the bark from an elk rubbing its antler or fire scars, you're going to initiate immediately after the event the process of repair, as do your cells, to fix genetic problems that might be coming around because of environmental conditions of the gene, of the cell, and even when you cut your hand, boy, things are just mobilized and cells go in there to start reweaving the actual flesh. Repair is a big deal, and sometimes this repair happens on an ecological level often. So a forest fire burns a forest. That forest is going to come back not just because the trees come back, but because the seeds are falling in ground that have mycorrhizal networks, and if they don't have mycorrhizal networks anymore, they're going to actually reestablish by virtue of what little fungal tenants there still are in the soil. So it's an ecological process, it's an individual process, it's a cellular process, and even in smaller scale than that, repair is a thing.
And so it's vital that each of us, it's even radical these days, each of us slows down enough to know what we need to repair. What does repair mean for you? What does repair mean? Does it mean extra sleep? Does it mean taking a few more walks? Does it mean just getting quiet for 5 more minutes twice a day? Does it mean that? Just being still? Does it mean watching your thoughts and seeing if you can find yourself putting thoughts together that are more hopeful rather than more crushing? What does repair mean inside of you? Because that's where it has to start for us, just like the examples I think that you're giving, is that each of those natural occurrences is responded to by the individual itself. However, it draws on what's around it. And so that's where the interdependence comes in. And in relationship with each other, when we see the world very differently, what does repair look like? What does it look like to say, we may have completely different opinions on this thing, and yet there are things I really respect about you, and I want to let you know about that. Or there are things I would really like for us to be able to do together. Or as we are doing these things together, I would really like to not be involved in either of us treating each other in a way that's harmful. Can we talk about that? You know, this is stuff that we're being asked really intensely to learn right now. What does repair look like?
Yeah, we were with some naturalists this morning who were part of a big group of people who came in and helped take out this horribly invasive cane grass that used so much more water than any native plant. And it's really tenacious, grew really fast. It took 6,000 volunteer hours to get rid of this particular cane grass. Those people were coming out to essentially effect repair in an ecosystem, which they did. But I would say that they also affected repair in their own social satisfaction with life. What kind of meaning is there to me getting up in the morning? They were coming together for a cause that they all believed in. And in that alone, their individual physiologies were benefited. And so what kinds of repair are we on about, any one of us?
Right, right. And are we willing to slow down enough to ask that question, like each of us is asking it to you all? But Gary and I have to remind ourselves that we must each slow down. We must each stand still. And in these days, this month of December and next month of January, these days, it's particularly intense and may continue intense in our country. And it's easy to internalize that. It's not about you. It's about something that is outside of us. And the radical thing is for us to engage in repair with ourselves, in our inner ecologies, and in our ecologies between us. And with the people that, there are going to be people that you just probably aren't going to get any traction with. And that's okay, just to let that go, But there are people, don't give up. Don't give up on them. People can change. And so the repair that you need to be able to continue in relationship with particular people, they need repair as well. And so we ask and we listen, and maybe we get to proceed in healthy ways. But the primary thing for the next several months is really to ask the question, what do I need for my own repair, and how do I support that for myself? This is not navel gazing. This is not self-involvement. This is radical, because when we are strong, we are able to be better in community and better of support to each other and better with repairing what happens in our most close relationships.
I've heard you, Mary, say so many times about research that showed if you don't stop and then ask in the case of education, ask the students, the parents, involve everybody involved with whatever student behavioral problems, say, there might be. If you don't do that, stopping and really listening first, what do you say, 95% of the time you're answering the wrong question.
Well, yeah,
And
the thing is, when a problem comes up,
yeah,
our those of us who we're intent, we're do-gooders, we want this stuff to happen, and the first thing we're going to do is act. There's a problem, we're going to do something. That's where 95% of the time we're answering the wrong question, because
Yeah.
we haven't slowed down, we haven't stopped to ask and to listen closely to what really is the nature of this problem, so we know what we're responding to.
And so, yeah, honest repair, effective repair depends on that. So we're repairing the actual thing that's come undone and not repairing some imaginative thing that may or may not be out there in the world. And that sounds kind of simple, but I think it's true. We are an action-based culture where, boy, you want to hear of a problem and instantly respond to it. This is
And
good,
it
this is
does
bad.
not work.
And it really doesn't work. And a more thoughtful, deep thinking, deep heartfelt kind of way forward, beginning with stopping and asking and listening to others, is a good way to go, it seems to us.
And so the stillness part is a big part of repair that Gary and I think you're speaking about that for yourself as well. It certainly is something that is important for me. And when I look at the natural world out here on this day after the big rain, the thing that is going on, and this is kind of hard to wrap your head around, but everything is always in stop. And I mean by that, all of our kindred who are plants and soils and mountains are stopped. They are stopped always. And in that being stopped, they are able to receive information that they need to be best in what we can call, from many standpoints, but from the Buddhist standpoint in particular, right action. And so that's what we're talking about essentially, is that repair is a part of that entire cycle.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard at first to maybe get your head around, because they're in motion to the sense that they're growing and they're responding to things all the time, every second, a plant, a bird, whatever, a lizard, you name it. But that response is always based in what's being received in that time, in that moment. And that's the kind of stopping part. It's related to what really is, as opposed to what we can do as humans, what might be. What happened last year that I'm still really angry about? Well, I've had this problem in the past, I'm probably going to have it in the future. That isn't a big part of most of the natural world, I would suggest.
Right.
And we could probably put down some of our tendencies in that area and be way happier.
Yeah. So here we are in this desert that knows how to go dormant and knows how to renew itself. And you too are in an ecosystem right now that knows how to renew itself. What did we just see? We just saw something in that cane forest that Gary was talking about that is now gone, and it was invasives. The understory has begun to come back. And among the plants, and they said like 60 species have come back so far that had been overpowered by this invasive, is a belladonna plant, which has as another name
Sacred datura.
Sacred datura. And it was one of the fears of the naturalists who were out here doing this conservation work, was that it's a pretty aggressive grower. Once it gets going, it's like pretty excited. But it turned out it didn't take over anything. It served as shade for other little plants to get started, and then it pulled back. And now they're just clumps of it. And the comment that the conservation science guy said was, the plants know, the ecosystem knows how to balance itself. And this is something that we can really trust. We do know how to do this, but we've got to get out of our reactive fear and our jumping into action out of fear, rather than out of something that is quieter and something that is more capable of the opening and receiving information about what the right action will be.
Yeah, and one of the last things I want to say here is when it comes to climate change, which of course we talk about a lot, and the book Full Ecology was dealing in part with how we're all trying to find our way through such a big problem. It is about stopping doing certain things, burning as many fossil fuels as we have, but it's also about repair. We have an active role to play as human beings in helping to repair an Earth that is awfully good at repairing itself,
Yes.
but could very much use some help, as it could when those cane grasses were being removed by volunteers. So part of the positive side now, or focusing on the glass half full, is put our creativity alongside the creativity of the natural world to see how we can heal an Earth that we've unfortunately wounded deeply in the last many centuries.
And a lot of our capacity to heal is to stop doing things that we've been doing that we are learned are really quite harmful. Just stop it. We can do that. And here's some news you may not be able to see, but little drops of rain are falling.
Yes.
And there's no rain forecast for today, but we got a little bit coming through right here and right now, which has become exciting.
Yeah, every drop a miracle, that's for sure.
Yeah, and so more renewal, more repair. Not that the desert knows how to be in heat and dry also, obviously. So, December, we're going to have our deep dive rather than on the second Tuesday, on the first Tuesday, on the 2nd. And you will see notice about that shortly after Thanksgiving. And you will actually, that'll be the day after you receive this newsletter. So we will make that a big part of what the newsletter says. And hopefully you'll know that you will know that if you saw this update.
Yeah,
So
we'll talk about repair, so I hope you can join the
That'd be
conversation
great.
and lend your ideas to this
Yeah.
really important topic.
Yeah. And the other thing that we really want to remind you about is these just breathtaking retreats that we get to offer at the J. Barrell Ranch in the Centennial Valley of southwestern Montana. Yeah, it's an experience.
As beautiful as it gets in the Rockies, and that's saying something for me because I've been a lot in the Rockies, and this is just, the cream of the crop. It's beautiful, 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 and that beauty and awe that's so easily accessible there helps the process of what it is that we're working on with Full Ecology or with writing or whatever you've come to focus on. So check it out on our website.
Yeah, we've got one that will be happening on writing. Right now, we have these offered. One that is more oriented towards the Full Ecology tenets, using meditation and really considering what this stop and ask and act and inspire look like. And then we've got a brand new one on inner elderhood, which is something we'd like you to check out on the website as well. There's a freestanding page for inner elderhood, but also on the retreats page. All three are listed. They happen between the 16th of June and the 9th of July. So if any of those dates fit for you, check it out and come join us.
Yeah, and good holidays to all of you as the year comes to a close.
Yes, blessings to your family, to your community, and to each of you. You are so special to us, and we are delighted to get to be in touch with you this way and any other ways we are able to over the course of a year, which we are just finishing up.
Finishing up another. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks
Do check
watching.
our website at www.fullecology.com. And please be in touch with anything. We love hearing from you. Connect at fullecology.com.
All right.
Happy everything. Be
Blessings.
kind to yourself. Go still. Go quiet. Yes.
Spend some time in nature.
Yeah.
All right. Bye for
See
now.
you next month.